great future. We're talking real money.
Okay, I'm getting a little weepy as an era draws to a close. Hello, everybody. I'm Don McDonald, and this is the last day of our radio show. Yeah, okay. And the history goes back a couple of years. Goes back, well, actually, Talking Real Money, I looked it up. First episode of Talking Real Money was on
the radio.
On the radio, on Como Radio in Seattle, which then became Northwest News Radio.
I'll say 2014.
Exactly. January of 2014. Our first program.
You're good. That was not, radio. No one gave me, Don didn't give me that in advance.
So that was the beginning of Talking Real Money. Prior to that, there was Investor Radio. Prior to that, there was Sound Investing.
That's right.
Prior to that was the Don McDonald Show. Prior to that was the Ways and Means Committee. And by the way, the Ways and Means Committee started in July of 1988. And just to put this in financial perspective, if in July of 1988, you said, well, I believe in what this Don McDonald guy is saying. This whole buy good funds, put your money in, leave it alone for a long period of time, don't pay commissions, all that kind of stuff. If you had put your money just in the S&P 500. Just
1988.
July 1988, you put $500 a month in, starting in July of 88, over the next 38 years.
Yeah, 38.
38 years.
Oh.
S&P 500, not a fancy global portfolio, just the dull, boring S&P 500. And remember, in there we did have the crash.
500 a month, is that what you said?
500 a month.
6,000 a year.
6,000 a year.
Yeah, don't go through all the things that have happened since then. We'll be here for days.
A lot of stuff happened. How much money would you have today if you just let it reinvest and reinvested the dividends?
Well, so 6,000 times 40 years is $250 million.
$250,000
without any gain.
Yep, exactly, without any gain.
Yeah. So wow. I will say $1.7 million.
$3.1 million.
Wow. Well, okay, so give me the other 1.5.
I'm telling you. You wouldn't have had to do anything fancy. You didn't have to adjust for the markets.
No.
You didn't have to predict, how many wars did we have in that period?
I think it was three, right? Yeah, three wars.
And what happened?
Depending on what you count as a war, of course.
There's a message here, and we're going to talk about that message. But before we do, we want to invite you to join us here on our final radio program. For now, anyway. I don't see us coming back and doing another one. We're really old. We're going to keep doing podcasts 5 days a week. We're going to do those, but this is the final airing of our radio show. So call us.
That's as sentimental as you're going to get, isn't it?
Call us at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. My wife a couple of weeks ago beat the tar out of that. She got a lot more sentimental than I did, but it's not what I do well.
I know. And by the way, for all of those, I posted it on LinkedIn. Because my broadcast career in the Seattle area goes back actually 52 years. Not all financial radio. It includes high school and college, all the rest of that. Yeah, it includes high school.
Nobody counts
we had
high
a radio
school
station
radio.
there.
Except
I was on the air. I was broadcasting.
Well, it was like 12 watts broadcasting to...
Actually, it was 10 watts.
10 watts? I was
started
really
a little
close.
10-watt radio station.
How many blocks did that signal carry?
My dad used to try to listen at home. I think he held something up like, if I pointed in this direction, I can almost hear you. Anyway.
That just tells you he's really, really, really flipping old.
I posted it on LinkedIn, and there's been a lot of kind comments.
Aww.
Like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, we got one of those on. We got one of those as a podcast review on Apple Podcasts, where somebody said, well, "Thank God, I'm just so glad." He was tired of he apparently he doesn't like you guys, the callers. We do, but this guy didn't like you. So,
and by the way, speaking of app, I looked this up today because again, we're not leaving. We're still doing the podcast 5 days a week, but you got to sign up to get the podcast or be a podcast listener. You got to do that.
Or go to talkingrealmoney.com.
When you think about where we are, you're going to be amazed.
Yeah.
In all the investing podcasts in the United States today, which includes, like Jim Cramer and Kiyosaki, and all these people have huge platforms.
What's his name? Whose name I forget.
Good old what's his name?
Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey, etc. You know where we are today? As of today.
I haven't looked.
The 43rd most downloaded podcast for investing in America today.
Wow. That's pretty good.
That's crazy. That's good. Really
well,
good.
Considering that just a few years ago, we didn't even crack the top 200, really, for a little bit at times. So thanks for listening, all of you. But anyway, the point we were going to get to is that we're right now in a time when the market. I looked at my Schwab statement. I've lost
I haven't looked.
I've lost. Well, I had to because I wanted to find out for the show. I've lost in just the past few weeks about $40,000. You know, and then
I wish I could help you find it.
That's a lot of money. I mean, it is a lot as a percentage. It's not that big, but it's a lot of money.
It is.
So what should you do about that?
Yeah, but let's just talk about what's happened already before we even get into that. The S&P 500 down 5 straight weeks. We're not going to even mention the Dow Jones.
No, do not mention the Dow.
The index who shall remain nameless. The NASDAQ off 10% from its high. I think they call that, what do they call that? Like a correction, right? Or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
20% a bear, 10% a correction. All right.
Correction. So you're in a correction. But we'll talk more about this in a moment, a lot worse after a previous big war that was unexpected, Ukraine and Russia, where the indexes went down over 20% in a short period of time. We'll unpack all this.
And we're going to unpack it slowly because we've got people on the line calling in. Thank you all for calling in. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. We invite you to do the same.
Tom and Don are talking real money. Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Well, this is it. Talking Real Money goes all podcast after these 2 hours of radio here on Northwest News Radio that become a podcast next week. There will be 5 days a week just podcasting. I'm Don. That's Tom. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. And we're in a period where you feel like you need to do something. When markets go down like they have recently and a war occurs that was unexpected, what do you do now, Tom?
Yeah, and oil prices are up. And by the way, I looked at gasoline prices, inflation adjusted. We're still not at a new peak. That was actually in the late 70s, it appears, when you factor in inflation. So, so what do you do? Well, this is so important because this is the same thing we've been saying for 20 odd years or 30 or whatever it is. Number one, you have a plan that says, here's what I'm trying to achieve. Here's how much I'm trying to make. And here's the volatility I'm willing to accept. Number two, you have learned to tune out, not this program, but other programs are going to tell you, hey, got to pay attention to all this. Number three, anybody who tells you what's next, those are people you need to ignore completely because there's a ton of people out there telling you here's what to do and here's why, because here's what's going to happen. They don't know anything more about the future than you do.
And again, the point I wanted to make at the beginning of the hour is so important. If you had, back in 1988, just put $500 a month away in a boring S&P 500 fund, which, by the way, existed at no load, very little cost, the Vanguard.
Is that Vanguard?
Vanguard Index 500 fund. It's existed since the 70s. Wow. You put $500 a month in that. You just saved regularly. You didn't do a thing. You didn't panic. You didn't think. You didn't do anything. That $250,000 or so that you put in would be worth $3 million today. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. Let's go to New York. And Brian, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Tom and Don. Congratulations on the final show. Wish you guys the best. I know you've beat it to death about pushing the little purple button on an iPhone and going through all that, and I'm listening. But I guess I missed one part. When can we actually speak to you live? It's obviously not going to be 3 p.m.
No, here's how it's going to work. Generally speaking, we are going to have sessions on Monday mornings and on Wednesday mornings where we can talk with you live. What you do is you call 855-935-TALK, the same number you just called. And then you'll give us some information, and we're going to do it like they used to do on Car Talk. We're going to call you back, and then we'll have a conversation with you live.
Great.
And we can work around that, but that's generally going to be when we do it.
Okay, my next question. When is retirement available to view? It keeps saying check back for the recording.
Well, they said
it's
generally
only been
a
3
month.
weeks.
They said a month. They said a month.
It's been, I think it's 3 weeks tomorrow, or today, pardon me. So, yeah, it's coming. And what he's referring to is, of course, retirement that was held March 7th in beautiful Bellevue and online. So what they do is they take each presentation, and then they'll put that up on the web so you don't have to watch the whole day. You can pick and choose. I know you're going to pick mine first, and then if there's time left over, you can put somebody else's on there, sure.
I'm hoping that.
Of course. Now,
I'm hoping that I'll pass Tom, but it won't work.
Oh.
Go ahead, Brian.
A quick question for you, Tom. Another quick question for you, Tom. The two droppings for the asphalt that you had, the dino droppings that were spread on your driveway. Did your able-bodied daughter end up helping you spread that?
I think you know the answer to that.
Yeah,
it would be no. No, I did it. And it wasn't as bad as I thought, actually. I moved it around. There's still a few humps out there. It needs a little leveling, but it's okay. It looks so much nicer than it did before. I'll put it that way. So.
And my final question for Don. When you go on occasion, you've gone to these steak dinners, listening to the annuity sales pitch, and you like to go and joke around and call them out on their issue. What are the I'd love to know the type of questions you're asking them that gets them tongue-tied, because I'd like to go to one of these steak dinners if it's morally ethical for me to.
It is totally morally ethical for you. They invited you. Go. One of the questions that tends to stop them in their tracks is when they show the chart of the market and they say you're going to get the returns of the market with none of the risk. You look at the chart and you go, does that include dividends?
They always take those out.
And dividends are a huge part of the total return. The other question you ask is, what percentage of the return of this index do I get, and what is the cap? They hate that one. They don't want to tell you that one. And the other one is, how much commission do you get? They'll say there is no commission. You go, no, that was not what I asked. How much commission is the insurance company giving you per sale?
Not me, obviously. It'll be the company, right? The company pays.
How much do you get? Yeah. I put $100,000 in your product. How much do you get paid? That trips them totally up, because they look like they're obfuscating because they don't want to tell you that they get $9,000 on $100,000.
All right. Well, I didn't want to come with anything personal today on your last day on the radio show. I wanted to joke around a bit, say congratulations, and just pick your brains on those couple issues.
We appreciate
you being
there. Guys, I'll call back.
Okay.
I'll find you guys back on the podcast.
We'll be there. We'll be there waiting for you. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. And now, a voice from the past. Paul, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Oh, it's great to be back, Don and Tom. While I was sitting here listening to that conversation, it brought back so many amazing memories. If I could just share one, I did not, until I met you two guys, I did not ever see a therapist, ever.
That's the fond memory. Okay, Paul, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a break because that was just too overwhelming for us, and we have to breathe through it and think about what we're going to say next. So we'll let you come back right after we do this.
So much better.
Tom and Don are talking real money. For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Our phone number again, 855-935-TALK. I'm Don, that's Tom, and with us on the phone is Paul Merriman, who apparently was driven to therapy by Tom. Because Tom's worked with him a lot longer than I have.
Well, that's true. Actually, my relationship with Paul goes back 38 years. I added this up before retirement. He should be in therapy. If it was the other way, I mean, that makes sense. You
guys are wonderful. I love you both. You guys literally changed my life and helping us to get the radio show going and all the work that you did before you started your own company. And I knew without any question you guys were going to be a great success. And I really am happy for what, not only all the things you've done for the people that you manage money for, but you have educated so many people. Being number 42 or whatever you said you are, that just means that you're helping that many more people out there. And I'm blown away how successful you guys have been. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. And I'm glad you're still going to do it through the podcast.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, we had a great example to follow because we all started working together on Sound Investing back in the day. That was a fun show. That was, by the way, with the three of us, people don't forget this. In 2008, there weren't that many podcasts, but the three of us.
Right. There were three investing podcasts in America, and of the three, we were named number one.
We were named number one by Money Magazine. So we have not forgotten that accolade, and we have not forgotten you. And we hope we get to work with you more in the future, Paul, because of all the wonderful things you've done.
Well, yeah, because the thing that Paul doesn't talk about is that after he left the investment advisory business, he started a nonprofit financial education group called Merriman Foundation or whatever. What's the name of the darn thing? Education Foundation?
Merriman Financial Education Foundation.
Too many words, Paul. Too many words.
And you guys, by the way, to be fair, Don, you actually, at no cost to the foundation, did the audio book for We're Talking Millions. And I know that you put a ton of work in that. And
as a matter of fact, I haven't done an audio book since it was so traumatic.
You had to see a therapist too. I really appreciate your work, and I hope Retire Meet's not over. I hope you guys just keep ramping it up and keep working to help people. Well, and I'll go as long as you do, okay?
Thanks. We appreciate all you've done and all you're going to do, and we'll keep hanging out with you. Thank you so much. 855-935-8255. Let's go back to Seattle. And Tom, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Thank you very much. I just want to thank you both for all the years. You guys started me out on Roth IRA. I think I had $5,000, and I had it grown up to $500,000 by the time I retired 2 years ago. I bought a nice boat here. I'm here in Friday Harbor right now, and I just want to say thank you.
Well, as soon as we leave the radio, we're going into indexed annuity sales, so we'll give you a call and get our $90,000 commission out of you.
We got your number. We'll be ringing you up sometime early tomorrow, maybe 7:30, something like that. So look forward to that. And we'll be on your boat by 1, so that's not a problem.
There we go. I was going to do charters, but it's easier just making money.
Sounds to me like you owe us a fishing trip or something, but hey, I'm not one to beg.
Press it. That's a great story, by the way, Tom, what you said about the Roth, because this is something this is a topic we have pounded on for a very long period of time that I still don't think gets the attention it should, because the money goes in, it grows tax free, and now you got $1 million of tax free money. That is good, so powerful.
That will keep growing, we hope.
Oh. Yep. Yeah. So just great to hear. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for listening. And keep listening to the podcast, right?
Yeah, I'll try and sign into that. It's been a little rough, but I'll get it figured out.
Okay, or just go to talkingrealmoney.com. I put it right there on the page. It's easy.
You can click, and there we are.
Click and listen. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for the kind comments. We appreciate it.
Enjoy the boating. My boat won't be out for a long time, by the way.
Your boat's right there in the water.
I know.
You could take it out if you wanted.
I looked at it the other day, but it was still.
I looked at it.
Degrees.
I thought about it.
It's still floating. That's the good news.
Put a jacket on.
The lake is cold, or 2. Maybe.
You're not going to go swimming.
No, that doesn't occur for another 3 months. So
by the way, you don't have to say any nice things about us, but we appreciate them. We want to help you manage your money, which we're going to keep doing. At 855-935-TALK. Remember, that number will keep working. 855-935-8255. Give us a call.
Tom and Don are talking real money. Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
This is the last live Saturday show. I'm Don McDonald along with Tom Cock, talking real money with you, and you can join us at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. I was talking to Debbie, Tom, earlier, and I'd forgotten my first talk radio show, like on commercial talk radio.
Back in Colorado,
was in 1985, and it was. I started out on a Saturday.
Ooh.
My very first show was on a Saturday.
This is a good bookend to that. By the way,
yeah.
I'm wondering now, all kidding aside, since you mentioned Debbie, do you think my wife will notice that I'm no longer doing the show on Saturdays? Or
dude, just keep coming out to the unit there and work in the model military aircraft museum.
That is, you are so smart. You're right. I'll just disappear.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
It's a little man cavey thing.
Thank you.
855-935-8255. We would love to talk with you here or on the podcast in the future because we want to help you manage money better. Let's go out to Ohio now. And John, you're on. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Don and Tom. How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for the call, John. What's up?
I just want to start off with congratulations on the long run of the radio show. I've been listening 4 or 5 years and called in a couple of times and it really helped me out. So thank you.
Our pleasure.
I did have a question today.
Yeah.
My credit score the last month or so went down by 60 points. So I need to get my credit reports from the 3 credit bureaus. What's the easiest and simplest way of doing that?
The easiest and simplest way to do that is, you just go to their websites, I think. That's what I do. I have all mine. I have all mine frozen, by the way.
Mine are frozen.
I've gotten so many scam calls. I just froze all those things.
And I think I can go to them through one way on the. I think it's one of my credit cards. It's always telling me check this, and I click
that you can check your score, but I think you have to actually go to each of them to pull the individual reports from each agency, which is TransUnion, Equifax, and
the third one that you'll forget in retirement.
Yeah, it was funny. I have a really great credit score, and last month mine plunged, and it went from 820 to 7 into the 7s. I went, what was that all about? And then suddenly it bounced back up. I was looking at my wife going, are you drawing down on my credit
card? Short-term loan?
But
I went from 820 to 760.
I did the same thing last month, and then it popped back up again. So maybe there was just a glitch. Are you back up again?
I don't know. I get my statement at the end of the month, so
or just go to Credit Karma. Go to Credit Karma. Credit Karma will give you TransUnion and Equifax.
Were you guys shorting oil stocks or something?
I don't know. I truly don't know, but it was just really weird because I get reports on my credit score whenever it moves. And I saw this big drop, and I went and I looked, and nothing had changed. My balances were all the same because I pay off my balances every month, and then it went back up. So who knows? It's I wonder sometimes why the toaster oven doesn't work right. It's just a gremlin. It's just
I wonder why I can't record the program. Things like that. Yeah.
Where can I find the procedures for freezing my credit?
Again, that's where you go to. You go to each of the credit agencies, and there's actually, let's see.
Did you ever name the third one, by the way?
TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. So let's go to Experian. Yeah, Experian.com. And let's just go log in and see what the heck that looks like. And you have to create an account with them, and don't pay for it. Click the button that says create a free account because they, honest to goodness, want to get money out of you, as everybody else does.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Are you shocked? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burst your bubble.
Yeah. Good thing I was sitting down.
And I have to do my 2-factor identification. And then let's go in, and if I remember correctly, there was and the first thing they do is they say, "Are you sure you don't want to pay $25 a month for a membership?"
Whoa. Right.
Let's see.
And you're sure you can freeze this, even though we're heading into the warmer summer months?
Yeah, it won't get warm in Seattle for a long time.
I live in Ohio.
No, Tom's joking. Don't pay any attention to him. Oh, gosh. I don't remember where I saw it, but it's here somewhere. You know what I do for everything these days? I just ask ChatGPT. Oh, here it is.
It's so easy.
I scroll. Okay, on Experian, I just didn't scroll down the page far enough. There's a box that says freeze your credit file. And then it becomes unfreeze your credit file. It's that easy. It's clicking a button. You can freeze it and unfreeze it.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
I thought it'd be like a long procedure.
Nope. It's a button.
Okay.
And if you get lost, all of them have some sort of AI chat thing in the lower right-hand corner, I believe, that you can talk to. How do I freeze? And they'll tell you. Okay?
Well, once again, thanks for the help.
Our pleasure,
Thank you, John.
As
Thank
always.
you for listening and reaching out to us. So,
and our phone number is 855-935-TALK. That's 855-935-8255. And I got to tell you, I think just generally, unless you know soon you're going to be applying for a mortgage or a car loan or something.
No reason to have it available.
There is no reason, no reason whatsoever to have your credit file, as easy as it is to freeze and unfreeze it, there's no reason to leave it unfrozen. Freeze the darn thing. That way, nobody can apply for credit in your name. They can't spoof you. They can't use, the Social Security number they skimmed off the dark web or whatever. They can't do a darn thing. And that's really where most of the damage can occur. Yeah, you don't want them to get into your bank account or your brokerage account, but really stealing your credit's one of the easier things people could do in the past. Now it's hard. 855 hard. It's frozen solid. That's how hard it is. 855-935-TALK is our number. Lines open.
Tom and Don are talking real money. Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Come on by and join us at 855-935-TALK. That's 855-935. The number's 8255 at the end. And that number is going to continue to work even after the radio show is gone. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you'll be able to call that number and ask questions, and then we'll talk with you. What? Did I give you what?
Did you give me the hours of which I'm answering and you're answering, just so we got it straightened out, the 855 number?
I recorded an answer.
So I don't have. I was waiting. I thought there was going to be like a siren that goes off in my house or something. And
I thought about that, but your Wi-Fi is not that dependable.
That's a good point.
And I don't think. Do you have wired home phone service anymore?
I do not.
No, nobody does.
There's no wires out this.
There are wires. They just keep falling down.
That's true.
855-935-TALK. Call that number and we'll answer right now. Jeremy will answer because Jeremy's good at that. He's been doing that for us for ages, and he does a great job. And
thank you, Jeremy, for all your hard work.
Let's go to Arlington, Washington. And Joni, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi, Joni.
Thank you for taking my call. Hi. So, I had a question. I just turned in all of my tax stuff, and my tax lady at the H&R Block said that I'm going to owe $11,000 some dollars, and which is more than I've ever had to pay, which was a little bit of took my breath away a little bit. But my question is, she said that the reason I am having such a high bill is because the brokerage account that I inherited did so well, like the stock market did so well in the last year. So that's why I have to pay so much. And so my question is, should I take that money just out of the brokerage account to pay, or should I take it out of my checking and my, I have some savings and checking and that kind of thing. I don't know if I should, which way would be the best financially to do.
Okay, well, let's answer your question first, and then I have a question for you, because
I think I have the same question you're going to have.
First, if you go back to the brokerage account, sell something to create the money to pay the bill, that's going to be a new tax bill.
For next year.
Yeah, for next year. Because you're going to sell something probably that's gone up. Mm-hmm. Government's going to want their piece of that. So better to take money cash if you already have to pay the bill. That makes sense. Yeah. But my question is, if you didn't sell anything in 2025, why would you have a tax bill? In other words, what was going on inside the account that created taxation?
Did you sell anything in that account?
This is really terrible, but I I don't pay any attention.
Okay, so
I honestly don't. My bad. I know it's really bad, but I have a person who takes care of it at Wells Fargo.
That's part of the problem. How big's the account at Wells? How big's the account at Wells Fargo?
It's like $500,000.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this deserves a look from somebody else.
It was a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it's not now. None of our accounts are where they were a few months ago.
No.
But Joni, here's the problem. Here's the problem. My guess is that this person has some sort of power of attorney, trading authority on this account, and may very well be trading the account.
And
he calls me and he'll say something like, "Hey, this matured," or this something.
Or does he say?
Like,
does he call and say, "I want to sell this because this is better, and I want to buy this"?
Not necessarily that. No, it's more like this matured, and I'm thinking that we should just roll it back in. Because I never take any money out.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, though, Joni, is here's the thing. If a CD matures and you just put that money into something else, there's no taxable event that occurs.
I'm worried that the account has actively managed high-expense funds that don't pay attention to taxes. Remember, unless you buy the right type of exchange-traded funds or mutual funds that are tax-efficient, the fund manager doesn't care.
Can I suggest something that I honestly believe will make you feel so much better about your situation and so much more knowledgeable? We don't plug our own company very often. We really try not to do that. But you're right there in the Seattle. Well, it doesn't matter where you are because we do it all on the phone or online or on Zoom or on whatever. But what you should probably do is go to talkingrealmoney.com and click on the Meet an Advisor button, or next week call. Do you have a pen, a piece of paper?
Yes, I do.
Write down this number, 800-386-3004, and ask for Tom. Seriously, ask for Tom. He can look at your portfolio and tell you what your Wells Fargo person is doing and whether they're doing something good for you or doing something bad for you. No. And it's not like it's going to cost. We're not going to charge you anything, and Tom's not going to try to push you to become a client. I promise. I swear he will not. We just want to make sure you get helped.
Well, that is so kind of you guys. I've been listening to you. I'm bummed that you're not going to be on the Saturdays anymore, but I know you're going to have your podcast, and I will try and tune into that too. But I did go to that Retire Meet thing not this last one that you had, but the year before, and that was so good. I loved it.
Well, then just get Tom on the phone and let him look at your portfolio, because I have a sneaking notion your broker's not doing right by you.
By the way, we were driving by Wells Fargo last night. My 7-year-old grandson said, "Is that a restaurant? What is Wells Fargo?"
Tom and Don are talking real money. For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Our final stop for the hour is in the great state of Michigan, where Scott resides. And Scott, welcome to our program.
Hey, thank you very much for all your advice in the past. I have talked to Tom and emailed him in the past too, and he's been very helpful. And I just want to say thank you. You guys have really kind of inspired me to, do an about face and rethink my procedure, or not procedure, but my financial, planning. I did have a question though. How do I know when it's time to fire my advisor? He's kind of like looking at maybe a third of my net worth, and I'm looking over the 2/3 net worth. Basically doing what you guys have talked about over these past years, and following Paul Merriman's advice too as well to a certain extent. And I've done really well. The percentages, every year I'm outpacing my advisor because he's maybe like a little bit more, I don't want to say on conservative side, but he might, lean towards maybe not as much international when I've asked him to go a little bit more international and whatnot. But anyway, I'm kind of outpacing him.
Tell me a little bit, really fast, because we're coming up on the end of the hour, but really quickly, can you give me the names of any of the investments that he does use in that account? Oh,
sure. He uses, like the iShares Russell 1000, Invesco Bullet shares, and they're Vanguard Growth ETF. So it's very simple stuff. I mean, I use primarily. Yeah.
And is he a fee? Is he a fee only advisor?
He is. Well, he's charging 1%, but then he's also got me into some mutual funds, which I asked him not to, years ago. And those are like Fuller, Thayer, Behavioral, Small Cap, Colombian Small Cap Value. And it's kind of like where you kind of cap the mutual funds at 0.2%. So really he's taking like 1.2% out. It adds up over, the course of the year. And I'm not sure, and I've talked about this. I said, I'm not sure how much I'm getting back from you guys for charging this amount of money.
Yeah, it sounds like he's working.
And I'm turning 62 in April.
I think he looks, it sounds to me like one of these portfolios where you have an advisor who's trying to make themselves look super valuable by doing some really eclectic kind of stuff that isn't necessary, whereas you have a portfolio that is sheer simplicity, and just for the lack of a fee is probably beating him alone.
I would want to have any advisor starting with the plan, looking at tax planning, doing all that work, especially since you mentioned, Scott, you're 62 this year. That should be paramount.
And the other important question is, does he consider your other assets when he suggests investments in the 1/3 that he manages? Does he know exactly what you have elsewhere?
Yes, he does.
Okay,
he does. And he kind of blends them in.
Okay,
but also, he wants to help me with tax planning, even into my other 2/3 of assets, and that's good. But is that enough to deal with the 1.2%? I mean,
I got to tell you, just listening to the securities you suggested. They're things. They're expensive. They're convoluted. There's some simple things, but they're actively managed. There's just stuff I don't think is necessary. I think he's trying too hard to earn his fee. And if you're good at what you do and it doesn't stress you out, and you stay the course when things look bad, and you rebalance and you do all the things you're supposed to do, you may be one of those people who can go it alone. Or maybe you want to shop for another advisor. Or maybe you just want to get somebody who will give you some good tax advice. I don't know, but I think it's time to start thinking about it anyway, and get him to justify it. And we've got to run. I really appreciate your call, Scott. Thank you all for the great calls. And go to talkingrealmoney.com. That's the place where everything is. If you want to ask us questions, if you want to listen to the podcast, whatever it is, it's at talkingrealmoney.com.
The opinions and views expressed on this podcast were current on the date recorded.
Opinions, estimates, forecasts, and statements of financial market trends that are based on current market conditions constitute our judgment and are subject to change without notice, including any forward-looking estimates or statements which are based on certain expectations and assumptions. Although information and opinions given have been obtained from or based on sources believed to be reliable, no warranty or representation is made as to their correctness, completeness, or accuracy. Information presented on the podcast is not personalized investment advice from Appella Wealth. The views and strategies described may not be suitable for everyone.
This podcast does not identify all the risks, direct or indirect, or other considerations which might be material to you when entering any financial transaction.
Past performance does not guarantee future results, and profitable results cannot be guaranteed. We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for informational, educational, and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. The podcast is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Appella Wealth, a fee-only registered investment advisor.
Please see Appella Wealth's ADV Part 2A on our website for information regarding Appella's fees and services.
Appella Capital, LLC, DBA Appella Wealth, is an investment advisory firm registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The firm only transacts business in the states where it is properly registered or excluded or exempt from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC or any state securities authority does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Appella does not provide tax or legal advice, and nothing either stated or implied here should be inferred as providing such advice. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and important disclosure related to performance of any specific index or fund quoted in this podcast. And the lawyers get richer.